I'm David Baxter, writer of The Marksman. Welcome to InvestComics, and you're watching FFFIC!
Hi, I'm Shaun from Famous Faces and Funnies.
And I'm Sebastian from InvestComics.com, and this is FFFIC.
Every time you announce that, I feel like I'm on a game show.
I know. I just feel like I'm doing like
a package of prizes.
And now your weather.
Weather on the ones.
It's raining X-Men at Avengers Academy.
And it's 75 degrees in December in Florida.
So I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
I don't know what cold feels like.
I never wear a sweatshirt.
It was cold last week.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt because I had a shirt without a comic book thing on it, and this has one.
I have a shirt without a comic book thing on it.
But I like to feel like I'm a part of
I want to get a shirt that
comic
says
book
Mind the
shirt
Gap.
things. Mind the Gap.
That's some crap in the business.
I want one that says Gap the Mind. It's just got a guy with a hole in his head. Alright.
The second best Marvel book.
You hold yours, we'll do
Oh, mine's the first best Marvel book.
Pick of the week. The first best Marvel book.
This is the best one.
This is the best one.
We should totally do our reviews at the same time.
Yeah, just like dueling banjos.
Oh, this is the best one. Look, mine's polybagged like the 90s.
And mine has Christos Gage like the good stuff.
Mine has Rick Remender like the great stuff.
Better stuff.
The best.
You got chocolate on my peanut butter.
Oh, if they were crossed, that'd be awesome.
Oh, they probably will, during the X versus A combo. But this was so good.
This was so good.
This was hashtag so good.
This was hashtag so good. Wait, that first hash is illegal.
Smoking hashtag so good. All right, this X-23 joins. We get more of this. What's up with reptile? I don't know how you actually say his name. With his future mind and his current. What the hell is going? But the story. This is. You know what? When you made me read that book that nobody knows any characters from.
Morning Glories?
Yeah. If Morning Glories was a story about a school that had the characterization of Avengers Academy, I would read it. Yeah, if I could join the Avengers Academy, I would read Morning Glories.
I don't think he would fit.
But, I'm scary looking and have no genital. Boop! Yeah, that's scary. But, so good, you should be reading this.
This is so good. Uncanny X-Force 18, the conclusion of the Dark Angel saga. It's polybagged for no reason whatsoever. It's so stupid. There is no reason to polybag this issue. Like, something happened, but it's not like, oh my god, we need to polybag this and sell it like the death of someone. No. But, hey, your boy's in the next issue, Nightcrawler.
I know. Next issue, I'm going to start reading the second best Marvel book.
There was a lot of issues this year from Uncanny X-Force, and there's another one next week. So this is how a giant story should be done, Marvel. Take notes.
Stitched. I like this.
Really, the way to stop them is to stop a tin can?
Yeah, because it's to not to stop a tin can. It's to stop the tin can from clinking. It's like almost like well, first let me explain it. This is a really cool horror book with a war backdrop, right? It's like animated.
Besides the tin can part,
they're like animated zombies, but they use a tin can, and the tinkling sound of whatever they have in the can is what animates the zombies. And if you've ever tried to just grab a can and stop it from making noise if there's something in it, and that can is hanging from a chain, possibly around an undead's neck, this was really cool. This whole the way that thing, that predicament the British guy got himself into. This is really, really good. This is really, really so good. Shaun thinks it's okay, but Shaun thinks this is the best Marvel book. So clearly,
here's the thing though with Garth Ennis. I'm used to his disturbing crossed stuff now. Like anything else is.
Well, this isn't going for disturb. This is going for like actual.
Till they're using a baby as a football in that book.
This isn't going for. I'm sure he will because he's him. Somewhere down the line, something horrible's gonna happen.
The art is gorgeous.
But this is going more for that. Like what a really good horror movie should feel like, and it worked. This was good.
Just go with it.
Speaking of horror movies, Godzilla, right? Godzilla Legends. This is Rodan's issue. Apparently Rodan, not a big fan of bullies, The first issue of this, I really liked. I still really like this, but the first issue was better. This, they put more of a... I think the story was less Rodan and more his kid and his dad who find a Rodan egg, one of Rodan's eggs, and Rodan's not really thrilled with that. But the story was more them than Rodan, whereas the other story was, while it had all these people in it and all this stuff, it was really more, it was Angers's story. This is less Rodan's story than theirs. Good story. Good book. I still like the first one better.
Deathstroke number 4. It's so good. It's so good. So, the first opening page, it's Deathstroke in a prison, like, oh, this is going to end awesome. And it does. And then you find out what's in the briefcase, and you're like, holy... Yeah. So.
This is Marcel Wallace's soul.
Well, way to ruin it for people. No, that's not it. But Deathstroke is a great book. It's one of those books that we're selling a lot of. I don't know how other people are, but if you're not, give this book a shot. Next up, Suicide Squad number 4, right? Yeah, 4. Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Captain Boomerang, he thinks he's a badass. He's not a badass.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of that intrigue that I missed.
I like the opening page with King Shark.
Oh yeah, I like the looks on some of their faces when King Shark finally uses a normal sentence. You can speak clearly but yeah, I'm a little concerned about one of the characters in here.
That'll be fine.
What was up with that?
That'll be fine.
That could go badly.
That's my favorite friend. Oh.
And then yeah, I like that. We've already discussed how we like the Bat books. I like this is tying in because this is the issue where somebody tells Harley
about Joker.
The Joker's face is hanging on a wall.
So what?
And she's like, yeah, that's not only is it not going to end well, but that's like a whole new arc.
I think cover number 7 has her with like Joker's face or something. So yeah.
Avengers Sanction. I read this.
Mom told me if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
And I liked.
I'm not going to do it.
I like the way Ed McGuinness draws Captain America.
You mentioned that.
Other than
the rest of it?
Well, it was okay. I'm just not sure what takes a lot out of it. Since they've already told us that this is leading up to X-Men versus Avengers. I don't see how much weight some of what happened in here has, because they make it seem like we're going to watch the time traveler guy, Cable, go through and systematically take out all
the dialogue's not good.
Watch Cable systematically take out the Avengers. But we can pretty much feel comfortable that the Avengers are not going to be as taken out as, they're going to have a whole separate fight later, so clearly, is he going to kill Cap? He might, but I'm sure it'll be unkilled quicker than you can say fear itself. But
wait till Avengers Sanction 7.1. They'll be fixed.
And there is some part of me, I will say, I don't know if this is good, bad, or indifferent, if this is what you're looking for in comic. The coloring works really well with the art here too. It's a very pretty book. But
are you going to read number 2?
But I'll check it out to see what happens, based on what happened on the last page. But what I will say is there is a part of me that wants to have like a 2-hour-long fanboy in a comic shop argument going, oh yeah, I don't think that's anyway. Captain America would totally kick Cable's ass. I don't think Cable could ever take Captain America. What would they? It did ignite that in me.
Double Walking Dead.
Walk Dead.
Walking Dead Volume 15 came out. It's 84, 85 through 90. So this catches you up. Yeah, it's winter came. So that's where that is. And then issue 92 came out, which is the 2 issues afterwards, and it's the second issue of the story arc, and you find out who the mystery guy was. And wow, this ending, and once again, it changes everything. It's awesome. I love Walking Dead.
Everything's always changing in that. They may as well call it Walking Dead in Flux, because there's a lot of game changes.
I love Walking Dead. I love that one panel.
Don't ruin it
with
for
that
me.
Guy. Look, there's a sword.
You already ruined it for me. I know it snows and the other thing now you're showing.
Winter.
Winter's coming. Yeah. It's a game of Walking Dead. Thrones. Little midget zombies. So,
why have they not done that?
I don't know. Get someone make a phone call.
You gotta say the title and the number.
Jennifer Blood, 7. All right. This is the first issue with Al Ewing taking over the writing. It's good. It took me, I'll admit, it took me partway through to get into it because it's good. It clearly picks up where where it was left off, but at the same time, it's not the same book.
It's not Garth Ennis, man.
No, it's not. But you can see that it's he's going for the same thing, but it's a lot of it is done in like that war journal style that Garth Ennis was doing for the first 6 issues, but the voice had clearly taken a tonal shift, and even just I grade essays for a living. That's what I do. So I could tell, wow, this was not your work. Someone else wrote this for you. I wanted to call up. It's called plagiarism. But Garth Ennis didn't sign it. Al Ewing did. But it took me partway through to get into the vibe of, okay, this is how it is now. I get it. And while I still think it really should have ended with, I got revenge from my family by killing all my evil uncles. Now I go home. I could see how, that would be, I just spent the last part of my life getting revenge on evil crime bosses. Now I'm going to go home and be Susie Homemaker. I could see how that would be a rough jump to make. So I get it. It was good.
Star of the Conqueror.
He's everywhere. It's how he escaped the relaunch. He's like, I'm out of here.
After this noise.
Orchid #4. I've liked this book. I have to say this is my favorite issue. It's really coming together. We get a flashback origin of the origin of this starred hood that if someone that it deems worthy puts it on, they become the ultimate badass. If anyone else puts it on, it turns your head inside out and spits it out the eye holes. So it's kind of
I need this mask.
It's kind of the ultimate crapshoot.
I require this mask.
If you're not 100% certain you're worthy, put it on somebody else, and then laugh when their face comes out the eye holes. But
I'm willing to take that chance.
But the story in this, the art is gorgeous, and the story in this is so. In this you get a lot better view of this world and a lot better grasp of what's going on, and this is really really good. I'm liking Orchid. Remember when Superboy was my favorite character?
I thought Superman was your favorite character.
No, all my S's are really for Superboy. But I remember.
I thought Blue Beetle was your favorite character.
Well, he was. But when I was a kid, what got me in the Superboy stuff and whatever.
Ooh, Mario Kart.
I'm still.
Oh wow, that's.
Jeez, big. I'm still liking who's this guy? R.B. Silva. His art's a little stiff, but it's good. I like it. I like the way this book looks, and even I'll say this for Scott Lobdell. Okay, these two annoying characters were barely in it. I didn't like them before. I didn't like them in this, and I'm just waiting for whatever's up with them to be done. But some of his, again, this book has some really decent ideas. But every issue, this Superboy gets further and further away. Not just from being the super. Okay, I get it. I'm not going to get the exact Connor Kent that I, Connor Kent that I love so much back. I get that. But he gets further and further from being anything resembling a Superboy. Right? We know he's part human, part alien. We know that apparently the alien is part Kryptonian, and they're even hinting that it may not necessarily, be Superman. Although I guess it, really, I guess they're saying it is Superman. But they also hint that there's a third alien mix in there, and that's part of why he gets his TK.
There's changing everything about this.
But all of his power, like Superboy, even when he had his original power set, the Connor Kent Superboy, the reason it was tactile telekinesis was it only went as far as touch, and he still refers to it sometimes as tactile telekinesis. But that's why it mimicked super strength, so he still worked like Superman. He could fly because his tactile telekinesis could move him. He could lift something heavy, like he was super strong, because his tactile kinesis helped him lift it. This kid has always got this red stuff spiraling off him, and he's just moving. I'll throw. I can't fight this girl. But that was my tactile telekinesis.
Oh.
So I can't beat this woman. I can't beat Fairchild from Gen 13, but I can throw all of the stuff in her house at her. Now he's just actually got telekinesis. He's further and further away from anything. You know, he wears an S. I'm being told that it's Nord. It's actually Nord. I would actually like that right now. But there was apparently, as he fights with Fairchild, and
That's where Nord went.
his telekinesis doesn't work on her for some reason, and she says, don't bother, they don't work on me. I'm impervious to telekinetics. All 13 of us are. This Superboy may be part of the Gen 13. I don't know anything about the Gen 13, so that doesn't give me any clues one way or the other. But if this book was not called Superboy,
I really
and this
wish
was
I
an
was
original
timing this
character,
review.
yeah, it would be great. But
That was
I'm
longer
done.
than your X-Sanction
I
anger.
have to rant. This
Batman and Robin #4. This was my favorite DC book of the week. You find out who this villain is. You find out a lot
really
about
good.
Bruce and how he was trained. And there's a Damian moment where you're like, oh look, Damian's okay. Then you find out it's a dick, and it's Damian. And that's the reason why I love Damian. He's awesome.
Damian trying to be the good son, good sidekick, and Bruce trying to be the good dad, good mentor.
Damian's
They
awesome.
both have the right ideas, but neither of them.
Their ideas don't
There's
cross
Alfred
paths.
standing in the middle going, if you guys take one, Bruce, take one more step to the left, and Damian take one more step to the right, you guys will be right there. You'll be holding it. And they can't do it. It's the Bat GPS does not work.
It's so good. This is Tomasi. You get Damian perfectly. It's awesome.
It is so good. The Occultist. This book is beautiful. The story is really good. I like Tim Seeley anyway. There's a lot going on here with. I can't wait for the next issue to see what happens with the girlfriend. The sword breaker has the girlfriend, and apparently the sword that is the magical energy that makes him the occultist hasn't even fully kicked in yet. So we're waiting for. Either way, should be some form of epic showdown next issue. Really, really good. Dark Horse doing some good stuff.
What happened is this your new Avengers? Jesus. It's all
I don't know. New Avengers is I didn't read the one before it, so I don't know.
I think you might have had to. That was
I
the
don't know
first part.
where he gets where he got his new Dark Avengers from. There's a Spider-Man in the Venom costume, but he's got 8 arms. He's got 6 arms and the 2 legs. So he's 8-limbed like a spider. Daredevil has a creepy moment with Squirrel Girl.
Oh, who hasn't had that fantasy in the comic book world? I'm just saying.
Oh.
Daredevil's blind. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
Oh no, he's actually ready to puke because of the scent of squirrel musk and baby because she's holding Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's baby who keeps spitting up and Daredevil can't see it but he can smell all of this. He's like, oh, I smell this baby spit up and squirrel musk. I think I'm gonna puke.
It sounds like a Friday night in Melbourne. Yeah.
It does. That's happening right now at the county line. People are paying for that. But yeah, it's still it's if you like Avengers, you can like this. It's still, to me, it's a lot of reading 22 pages of story to get really 2 pages of happening and a whole lot of look what we're building to. So I don't know.
Green Lantern #4. Woo! Just when you think Sinestro is a decent guy, everyone else turns out to be dicks to him.
Yeah, he's one of those.
I'm like, wow, Sinestro's
Sinestro
doing the right thing. What's
Sinestro
going
finally
on
does
here?
right thing. Whole world hates him.
Like, oh man, that last page.
Sinestro's like, look, I'm doing it. Sinestro's home planet. Too little, too late.
Yeah, like they came up with a plan.
And even Hal jumped on the Sinestro bandwagon.
Yeah,
We got Hal Jordan as
like,
Sinestro's cheerleader.
If you do this, we're going to be
Sinestro,
golden.
Sinestro, he's our man.
Yeah.
If he can't do it, we're all going to die.
Good issue. I was very surprised with it.
All right, for those of us who have been on the fence with Batgirl,
I'm so far off that fence. I fell.
I know you jumped off the fence.
Nightwing's not in it.
I'm on the other side of the fence right now.
You stay there.
This isn't. I'm not going to say that it was great, but this was a really solid issue. This was good. It touches on the How's She Walking Again, without giving us any full details, just that she does feel bad about it. I think they may, the risk may be that if someone takes this too far the other way of, oh, but I feel really bad about it. I mean, I get that there would be mixed emotions for all of that, but it runs the risk of almost, at a certain point, whether people like, even me, whether people like me or not, or like the fact that Oracle is walking again as Batgirl, I think at a certain point she has to stop apologizing for that. And by she in this case, I mean Barbara, not actually, Gail doesn't have to apologize for anything. But she doesn't have to apologize at every issue for the fact that I'm mobile. All right, we just let it happen. But this was a really good issue. Some good moments with the resolution of the Mirror guy storyline. Some good moments, some good Barbara moments with her roommate, and then I can honestly say I did not see the last panel of this page coming.
Now I gotta look.
I'll do the Ray.
It's a great creative team.
This was a great book. This is a great creative team. This is a great book. This, as I can honestly say right here, the Ray is probably, once they solicited for this, I think of all the new DC books, this is the one I was most excited for. And it did not let me down. This book is gorgeous. The story is solid. I already like this character. I am intrigued by one little throwaway line in there where he says, I didn't even catch it when I read the preview because they released the preview like forever ago for this. But at one point, as he's talking about, for the record, I never asked to be called the Ray. That was the press's idea, blah, blah, blah. But somewhere he says something about, yeah, I'll probably get a cease and desist letter soon. Do superheroes have lawyers for that kind of thing? So he may not be the only Ray. There may still be either the Terry Ray or the Golden Age Ray, unless the Golden Age Ray is on Earth. I don't know. But
it's on Earth too with the Justice Society.
There may be another Ray around because he mentions, I may get a cease and desist. But either way, whether he's the Ray one and only or not, this was really, really the explanation for the powers, the side effect of a superpower that leaves you permanently naked.
I think you can get that whole book signed at MegaCon. All three of those guys will be there.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna be the trifecta.
That's
I gotta make sure I remember where I put this. But this was so good. My Greatest Adventure number 3. All right, first off, let me go right out and say that the Kevin Maguire, well, it's a 6-issue book.
You made it 3 issues, good for you.
Shut your face. The Kevin Maguire Tanga story is so good, and this is some of the best art he's ever done, and I love everything he's done. So, they're just pages of just gorgeous expression and just giant whale walking monster thing. That's awesome. It was it's funny, it's good, it's just really so good. The Garbage Man story just stars Batman.
We start trending on Twitter, I'll be happy.
Move some things along. It was another good story, and I have to say, while I'm not going to go out on that far out and say I will say I had no problem with this Robot Man story. I'm still waiting for him to be at least show me something that makes him more like give me some hint of Cliff the Robot Man that I know. I get the new power set. I get the new framework structure. He even mentions that's why I quit my team. Another throwaway line that makes me think maybe in the new DCU there's a Doom Patrol out there going, how come Robot Man left? Because he's off having his greatest adventure. But yeah, I have not been a fan of that story so far. But this issue, I guess I enjoyed it. So good stuff.
Locke and Key number 3, Clockworks number 3. Oh man, this was you really need to start reading this book. It is so good. This one explains everything about the past. It gives you a look at the whole family and everything. So it was awesome. You need to pick this up.
I have to wait till I forget all the stuff that
you'll forget soon.
That dollar issue ruined like 4 trades for me because I was stupid enough to read the Fumetti thing in the back where he comes out and says, "Hey, you want to know what happened? Here's everything."
Yeah, you should.
So when I forget that, I'll read the other trades and then I'll be like, "Yay!"
There's a Rick bias. There's a Rick taking books from.
We are in grave danger. No one move. Rick's like a Jurassic Park T-Rex. If you don't move, he can't see you. Legion lost.
Rick with tiny arms.
That's why I can never get things on those shelves if need to. Legion lost. I'm liking the story. I know we're going to get a switch up of writers. I'm liking the story. Pete Woods, whose art I love, he had started with more of a shift, and even now it's still slightly different than his normal stuff, but it's looking more like the Pete Woods I know and will buy anything he draws over. So
I didn't even plan these two books to be next to each other. That's amazing.
You gave me a double Legion whammy. But yeah, this is good. If you're and look, you know what this is? You know what that is right there?
Me not knowing or caring?
No, there was a JLI cover. I don't know if they intended this or whatever, but there's a JLI cover with Captain Marvel and somebody else holding Guy Gardner back, and he's like, ah, and it makes me happy. Star Trek,
I just work
Legion of
with him,
Superheroes.
guys. I don't know what he says.
It's like I said, I'm not necessarily the hugest Star Trek fan in the world. I liked the reboot one. I watched the movies because my wife is a huge Star Trek fan because her daddy's an engineer, and that's what engineers watch. But this, I love Legion. This really good, and yeah, I think this was one of the better ones yet. The story just flows naturally, and once you get Brainiac 5 and Spock together, both for a fight and then for their kind of I'm smarter than you back and forth every time they try and work together or anything. It's the only thing they seem to agree on is that they're both smarter than everyone else around them. It makes for some good stuff.
Severed number 5 by Scott Snyder and Scott Tuff, I think. Yeah, he's Scott. If you want like a sick and twisted story that takes place in like World War II,
read Jared Steiner.
That too, or you can read Severed, and it just wow, like everything that is creepy that people can do is in this book, and it's just you see the page, you're like, no, don't do this, and it happens, and you're like, why'd you do this? And yeah, it's so good. This is like the one book I found myself yelling at this kid to stop, and it's I'm actually talking to the book. I think I'm losing it.
Dying.
It's so good. It's very hot.
The Strain number 1, $1. This
I like these dollar things.
I've reviewed the novel of this. This is the Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan, the Strain series with the vampires. They're adapting. Dark Horse is adapting it because Dark Horse and Guillermo are friends anyway. They're adapting, and they did a really great job. The art. Who did the art on this? Mike Huddleston. It's good. It's got that indie feel that's realistic enough for the job, but.
Here's my question:
What?
Is it better than Jurassic Force 5? Because that was $1 too.
Yeah, I mean, that was 99 cents.
To anyone who doesn't get that reference, watch last week.
This was worth the extra penny. Yeah, this was so good. It hits every note that the book has to, and it really flows well. And the art is just amazing. Good vampire story where vampires are actual monsters. They're not Bela Lugosi vampires. They're certainly not gay glittery vampires, and they're not Lestat vampires. These are vampires where they're just holy crap, run, get away, kill them, kill the vampires. All right, and it's good. If you're ready for vampires to be scary again, The Strain.
Vampires aren't scary. I do know from True Blood that vampires like to have a lot of sex.
If you were sitting next to a glittery, shiny vampire with hair, you'd be scared.
Would it be Edward or Jacob?
Well, Jacob's not a vampire. Duh. Your
So
team's
Edward?
stupid. Your team's stupid.
I'm sorry, 14-year-old girls who don't watch this.
Zorro rides again. Is good.
I'm glad he's riding again. I was very worried about it for a second.
The Dynamite Zorro stuff has always been solid, and it continues to be so.
That number 6 kind of looks like it's a negative. Like it's just, well, we don't want to cover our Dynamite logo today.
But yeah, it's good. It's Matt Wagner writing Zorro, really.
Our graphic novel, Red Wing number graphic novel.
Red Wing number graphic
The
novel.
Red Wing graphic novel. It's been a long day, and I'm tired, and I'm sorry, but I reviewed every issue of this. This graphic novel is awesome. It's Jonathan Hickman's first work at Imaging for however long. It's time-traveling war story. It's awesome. And the Aztecs are in it, so all you conspiracy theorists who think the world's going to end, this isn't going to answer any questions, but still cool. Bye!
All right, we love you.